Hi, it's Brigit from Silverfit here, one of the Pilates teachers in Dulwich Woods this morning. I thought I was just going to try something a little bit different. So whilst I was out running, I thought, why not do a little bit of standing Pilates? So I'm going to do some exercises that are good for strength and for balance. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's all standing. You can use tree trunks or I would say benches, but probably not benches in the current climate. But if you need to hold on to something for balance, do so. Maybe wear a glove, take your hand gel. If you're doing it outside in a public place, the garden should be fine. Okay, so we'll make a start. Okay, so we just start to roll out the shoulders, roll them out the other way. And then we're going to do a sort of backstroke motion. So just nice and fluid backstroke motion, and you can let your hips follow your arm movement. So just starting to mobilize here. Okay, and then we'll go the other way, front crawl. I love it in nature. Lovely. Give the elbows a little shake, and you're going to bring your arms forwards like so. And now we're going to keep the hips facing forwards as one arm sweeps back. And then exhale as you come forwards, and the other arm, inhale and exhale. And we'll just repeat that a few more times. Keep your hips forwards. Gaze can follow hand. If your neck feels okay. Okay, so if it doesn't, you can just kind of adjust so your neck feels comfortable. And then release, give the arms a little swirl. We're going to do some roll down, so I'll just stand onto the side here. I'm on a slightly wonky surface, which also stimulates our core. So the tailbone is shooting down, and then we're going to take a roll down, rolling down, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra, and then roll up. And just for symmetry, I'm going to change around. You don't want the surface so uneven that you're really struggling to balance, okay? So choose your surface wisely. Okay, so we're rolling down again. Vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. And then rolling back up again. Okay, and then we've got our hands on our hips. And we're going to step the feet so they're a little bit wider than hip width apart, and just swirl out the hips. So it's that hula hoop movement, really nice for lubricating the hips, oiling those joints, and then change direction. And back to centre. And you can keep your feet just a bit wider than hip width, and we're going to go down into a squat. So you want your bum to go backwards. We don't want the knees, so you don't want the knees going forward like that. You want your bum going backwards, and then squeeze up through the glutes as you come back up. Inhale as you go down, exhale as you come back up. So you feel the quads as well, but you don't want to just feel the quads. You want to feel the quads and the glutes, so the big muscles of the behind. And then we're going to come onto the tiptoe of the left foot. So you're doing a slightly off-center squat. So we're starting to play with our balance. You'll feel the right glute working harder. You can drive through the heel. Keep those abdominals working. We'll swap over. So we've got the tippy toe of the right foot. Notice how that body wants to lurch. So you're actually trying to keep as centered as you possibly can. Couple more like that. Okay, and then squeeze up. Lovely. Give yourself a little shake. And we're going to come down into a squat, and we're going to hold it. So inhale as you come down into your squat, and see if you can just come a little bit deeper. Okay, be mindful of knees. If they're not feeling very good, ease off a little bit, or even leave this one out if you must. Okay, but don't stress and strain on the knees here. Okay, we're holding, we're holding, we're holding, and then we're going to take a dive down and have a little swoosh from side to side, decompressing your spine. You can wobble and blobble the arms and the head around, so just loosening out any tension. And then press your feet down, wrap your backside under, rolling up, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. We're going to go for a side stretch. Okay, so I'll just take a step back so you can see my feet. So your right arm is coming up and your right leg steps behind, stretching out the side, and then we go to the other side. So the arm that's up in the air, it's the same side leg that's going behind you. So you're sort of in a banana shape. We'll make that a bit more dynamic. Keep your hips facing forwards. So the more stable the surface, the more stability you have. Okay, the less stable the surface, the more wobbly potentially you could be. So you've just got to, it's quite good in some ways because it makes you work a little bit harder, but you don't want to make the surface so unstable that you've got no chance. Okay, and we're going to do one more in this direction, and we're going to hold it and maybe soften your knees a little bit. So if your knees feel all right, soften them. It slightly takes the emphasis of the stretch more down the leg. Okay, and then over to the other side. And then come back. Okay, so we're going to do some plies, so similar to squats but different. So we've got a slight 45-degree angle at the feet here. We want to have a nice strong torque in the hip, okay? So you don't just kind of ram your feet into that position, it comes from the hip. Make sure the deep core abdominals and the pelvic floor muscles are engaged, and then we're going to come down into a plie. So your knees want to be tracking your toes, you don't want the knees buckling in, okay? Now if anything, just sort of press your hands against your thighs, make sure those muscles are working. Come back up. And down we go again. This is your inhale. Squeeze out, imagine you've got something between your bum cheeks. That's your exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now come onto the ball of your left foot, and we're going to keep going with the plies. Inhale. Exhale. We'll do 5 each side. 2. You can always do more if you want to. 3, 4, and 5, and swapping it over for 5. Watch those knees don't roll in. I've got to keep an eye on that myself. 2, go lower if you want to go lower. You can try this arm position. And I think we've got 2 more. Okay, and then shake it out. We're going to do leg circles. So with leg circles, we're starting to open out the hips, just mobilize the hips a little bit. Your standing leg wants to be strong, but your circling leg also wants to be strong. So root down through your left foot, and you're just going to circle the right. 5, 4, feel those bum muscles coming into play. 3, 2, 1. I've got a flex foot, so if I point my foot here, I'm going to just scrape against the ground. And it's good for the to get the glutes working. If you press into the heel, we're going to swap it over, so you really drive into that heel. Now we're on the other side, circling that left leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and change direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Shake it out. Slightly wider stance here, and we're going to do some standing saws. So bring up your right arm, and we're going to reach towards the opposite foot. So as you exhale, it's a kind of up and over. You're reaching towards the opposite foot. You don't have to reach it, you're just going towards it. Okay, and then we open up. 5. Engage the abdominals. 4. use your abdominals, and if you're feeling any problems with your back, of course you can take it down a notch, so you could go more for this range or even smaller still. So always go by feel here. You might be able to reach beyond. We're all so different. Okay, and now we'll go for the other side. So get that nice, get this lovely cross lateral stretch here. And then inhale, and as we exhale, reaching towards the opposite foot. I need to soften my knees there. You should always have a little bit of softness in the knees. That's 2. 3.
Cool. Of course it is, mate. If somebody dying in a fire, quick video it and stick it on Facebook.
So, anyway,
And
they were here, maybe.
good. Somebody walking their dog there. I said I'm in the woods. Just circle out the wrists. Okay, now we're going to do some head rolls. So we're going to, let me stand in the centre. So we're going to bring our left ear to our left shoulder. And then you're just going to roll around in a full 360 if you can. This feels so good. Now, if that doesn't feel good for you, you can just roll the head from side to side. We'll do another one. Get a nice firm footing when you're doing this, because actually you don't want the neck just flopping around. You want to feel rooted. You want to feel strong through the body. And then shrug and release the shoulders. So now for one of my favourites, it's the standing cat-cow stretch. So feet a little bit wider than hip width again. And as we exhale, we are scooping. So you're really scooping those abs from the side. It looks like this. We're hollowing. We've got a C curve in the back. And then we lift and we lengthen. A little bit of a back bend. Exhale. Inhale. So we get this nice ripple through the spine. Standing cat-cow. Same mechanics as your hands and knees cat-cow. So we've got a little bit of flexion. And we've got a little bit of extension, and both bits of this movement and everything in between counts. And then we'll bring the arms up and over, and I'll get out of the way of the thorny bush. We're going to circle the arms in big sweepy circles for 3, for 2, and 1. And then we'll change direction, and you can reduce the size of the circles, of course you can. Okay, you can scrape the floor. It just depends on your body. This is our last one here. And we're holding the arms up. And then we're going to come up onto the balls of the feet. Now I'm on a wobbly surface, so I have to engage my core. I've just got no choice, otherwise I'm going to fall over. So we inhale, and as we exhale, we come up onto the balls of the feet. Grab hold of that imaginary overhead bar, sort of hoik yourself up. Feel those back muscles and the traps and the lats and the big, strong, chunky muscles of the upper back starting to come into play. And then close your eyes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and open them and release. Good. Give yourself a shake. So we'll do a couple more roll downs. So this time you might be able to roll down a little bit further, okay, because we're a little bit more limber now. So inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, tucking your chin, rolling down vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. So good for the mobilisation here. Now we'll heel toe the feet so that they're a little bit wider than hip width. And if you want to, just grab hold of an ankle, doesn't matter which one. Just give yourself a little twisty stretch. And then over to the other side, a little twisty stretch. So we've got the old side body, the flanks are getting a stretch here. Okay, back to centre, rolling up. And now we're going to stretch out our chest. So we're going to clasp the hands behind us. And if you can't clasp, no problem, just zap into the fingertips. But if you can clasp, clasp. And we're going for a chest stretch, and we're squeezing the shoulder blades together. So it's like that, really opens out the chest. You can lengthen your throat, but if you're going for this lengthening of the throat, try not to tip your head back. We want to be strong and long through the body, and release. Lovely, give it a shake. So we're going to do some side kicks, but standing. So it looks like a side kick, except we're standing. So it's exactly, again, it's the same mechanical action, but you'll be working slightly different muscle groups because we're in a different position. So anchor down through the left foot, and we want to press into the heel. Okay, so keeping as straight line as you can, you're going to go like that. It's like that and like that. So exhale, feel those bum muscles working. Inhale, come back. Now if you've got something safe to hold on to, if you're out and about, maybe a tree trunk, but pop a glove on, or make sure you've got gel if you're doing that. We'll do another 3, 2, you'll feel the obliques, and 1. Hold it here. Your standing side is really strong now, and just pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great for the bum muscles there. Okay, we'll do the other side. One side is going to be stronger than the other, and this side is fatigued already, and we're now asking to balance on it. So we've got to just be a little bit kinder. Okay, so root down with your standing leg, pressing into the heel, and then this is the exercise. It's like a side kick. Exhale, inhale, and you want both parts of this, the exhale and also the inhale, to be engaged. So we're not doing the work here and then letting it go. We're working and we're working and we're working and we're working, and we're pressing into that heel, and we're not letting the bum stick out, and we're keeping those core abs working. This leg is sizzling away here. Hold it, pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Get those glutes working. This might be easier with the arms. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give it a little slap, give it a little rub. Okay, we're going to change position. So we're going to have the feet a little bit wider again, about 2 feet apart, maybe 2.5 feet apart. We're lengthening the arms, shrug and release the shoulders, and we have a long waist for the next one. Okay, we want to keep the waist long, and we'll reach over, and then we reach over, and then we reach over. Now as we do this, we're trying to, if you sort of imagine you're between 2 walls, so we're not lolloping the head forwards, we don't want to buckle body parts forwards and backwards. It's like we're between 2 walls. Okay, don't be too rigid with it. It's just sort of, that's what you're aiming for. And then we're coming over this way, and we want to feel like, imagine you've got a pencil here, so we're not snapping that pencil. We're lifted here, not too cinched, and we're circling the arm. 3, 2, 1. Change direction for 3, 2, 1. Reset over to the other side. Circle your top arm for 3, 2, 1. Change direction for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and then just heel toe the feet back, swirl and whirl the arms back. Give yourself a little shake. Now at this point, I'm very tempted to go over to that tree trunk and do some standing press ups. Okay, I've got some hand gel, so I am going to do that. If you're in your garden, you can use your bench. If you're in your kitchen, you can use the kitchen sink, or the kitchen counter. Or if you're really strong, you can just go onto the floor. Okay, so tree trunks are quite nice. You can commune with nature. So it's inhale, and as you exhale, really push away. Maybe get a little float. Inhale. Exhale. Now, as any of you that come to my class know, that standing press-ups are an excellent way to just kind of create the correct movement patterns, the correct alignment. They're also very good for if you're injured, if you've got shoulder injuries or elbow or wrist injuries. They're much less loaded than a full press-up. And inhale and exhale, and use that breath, and you feel that lovely float. It's really nice. I have got hand gel, I will use it. Okay, we're going to swirl and whirl out the wrists. Swirl and whirl out the wrist the other way. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. So we'll have a little stretch. I wonder if this video gets seen in 5 years' time, we're still going around with hand gel. Probably will be. Okay, so we're going to stretch out the hamstrings. So we'll start off with the left leg. So basic standing hamstring stretch here. Now, when you're stretching, try not to kind of collapse on yourself. You want to keep the engagement, keep your core working. You can dig your heel in. You might want to pop the foot down. Just gives a slightly different emphasis. Keep this knee soft, keep this knee bent, but also keep this knee soft. Lovely stretch on the hamstrings. Don't overdo it. Other side. Draw in through the core, keep your shoulders nice and broad. We've got a bent knee, we've got a soft knee. So we always want to avoid that sort of hyperextension of the knee where you're just locking back on the knee. You can pop your foot on the floor and then roll up, shake it out. Okay, so standing quad stretch. Normally I'd say hold on to your friend, but we can't do that of course at the moment. So you can hold on to a thing, or if you're good with balance, you can just be freestanding. So we're going for the quad stretch here, traditional standing quad stretch. Now when you're in your quad stretch, just come out of it just to demonstrate. We don't want to be all jagged and ragged. We want to keep the tail down. We want to keep those core abdominals working, which will also assist with your balance. Sometimes people say holding onto the ear is great for helping balance. Bizarrely, it does seem to work. Okay, release. And then we'll do the other side. If you know your balance is a bit wobbly, you know, hold on to something. Or do, you can lie on your side and do your quad stretch that way, as we've done in class before many a time. Balance. Oh, that's made my balance worse. It seemed to work on the other side. There we go, got it back. And release. Okay, so the standing glute stretch is fun. It's like the lying down number 4 stretch. It's just doing it, but standing on one leg. So here we go. So just anchor down with your supporting side, coming into the number 4 stretch. You can sit back into it, keep your core working, keep that foot pressing into the floor. Obviously, hold on to something. Your quad stretch will have given you an indication where your balance is at today, because this is harder. Nice stretch in the bum. Other side. Inhale, exhale. I quite like hands in prayer. I think it helps me balance. Some people might like to do something like that. Some people might like to do something like that. Just check in with your lower back. Make sure it's not overarched. And then release. Okay, we'll just circle out the wrists. The other way. Let's clasp our hands and we'll do some infinity circles, and then we'll change direction. Can never do it in this direction. I think I'm doing the same thing twice. Shake it, okay, and then we'll go for the ankle. So if you plant the ball of your left foot, and we're just going for the ankle, knee and hip mobilizer. Great for just kind of really lubricating, oiling those joints. Other side. So I'm assuming we're all out and about, or we're busy. So rather than finishing off lying down and taking some deep breaths, we're going to get our energy levels back. So we're going for the swoosh, the swirl. You can give yourself a little slap. Nice and gentle though, don't be too aggressive. This brings our energy levels back up. Watch out there's no thorny bushes behind you. And have a stretch. Give yourselves a clap. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. I hope this outdoor option was okay for you. This is number 8. There are 7 others, obviously, that are indoors and mat-based, so plenty to choose from. Bye, see you soon.